welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I have got a $45 stock-up haul from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't make it to the Dollar Tree last week. So this week I made sure that I got in there and picked up a few things. I did a $45 budget this week, and I got an assortment of things that we needed to make sure we have enough in the pantry and other supplies. So let's jump in and see what we got. So the first thing I grabbed was one of these 4x6 tarps. I think these are such a good deal for $1.25. They're small, but it really helps, especially around the garden. This time of year we use these. You can put stuff on top of these and drag them. So if you are potting plants or cleaning up the yard or anything like that, we will throw stuff on here and drag it over the compost heap, and that way we can get it over there and dump it. They are great for covering up generators, windows, all kinds of stuff. Excellent to have on hand when you have an emergency. If you need to collect rainwater, you could tie it to a fence or something like that and funnel it into a bucket. You can do all sorts of stuff with them. So I love having lots and lots of tarps, heavy duty plastic, things like that. That way we have enough for whatever comes up. And the next thing I grabbed, this is a little hot dog cooker for the campfire. I thought this would be great. Just to have on hand these little tines on the end. I don't know if you can see them. They're to poke into a hot dog, but I also thought that if in an emergency, you don't have any kind of pot holder or anything like that, you're cooking over the fire, you could bend these ends and use it to pick up lids, things like that, pull it off to the side, anything like that. So this would be a great addition to emergency supplies for all sorts of stuff. We've even used these to cook toast over the fire. You can kind of push it right into the toast, and just that way you can flip it over and toast it perfect on both sides. And then I love these metal skewers from the Dollar Tree. These work really good. I have a bunch of these, but we use these for shish kebabs, all sorts of stuff. And you can reuse them over and over and over, which I really, really like. So we have a bunch of these, but I want to add some more just so we have enough. We want to make sure we have plenty because stuff does break and we need to replace it. So it's good to have that extra on hand. And then I grabbed a couple of that I found Star Wars word searches for the kids. Always nice to have simple things that the kids can do when the grid is down, or anything like that. Keep their minds occupied. If anything is to happen, it's always great to have these kind of activities that they can do without electricity. So I keep a bunch of these for myself because I love word searches, and so I noticed the Star Wars ones and thought I would grab them for the kids because that way they have something like that as well instead of just reading constantly. Board games are also wonderful to have on hand. And then I grabbed an extra one of these magnetic list pads. It's got the little magnet on the back so you can hang it on the fridge. I use these all the time. I like to keep a stash of them in the pantry because I keep one of these on the fridge all the time. And when I use something, when I finish off anything, it goes on the list. So to buy more, or if I take something from the long-term storage, it goes on the list. So if that list is on the fridge, it's easy for me, and I could just tear off the front page every time I go to the store and pick up whatever it is that we've used or anything that I can think of. Just a handy place to keep the list so I don't lose it, because I can't remember anything. It's crazy. It is crazy. And then I grabbed a couple extra pairs of socks. These are nice thin ones for summertime, and it was a 3-pack for $1.25. I love to keep extra socks on hand. We have a big stash: winter socks, summer socks, all kinds of stuff, men, women, kids. We keep all kinds on there. You want to have plenty of socks. If you have to work outside, you definitely want to have some good comfortable socks with your shoes. And you know, in an emergency, you're going to be doing more physical labor than normal, most likely. Most people will. Then I also grabbed, I noticed that we were a little bit low for my liking on the flexible fabric band-aids for the knuckles and fingertips. So I just grabbed a couple of these, and so it gives us extra bandages. We want to make sure we have those. I like to have tons of different kinds of bandages. We keep gauze pads and rolls of gauze and tape and ace bandages, and you name it. We keep all that in our first aid, and I like to keep a good supply of, you know, all different kinds of band-aids for whatever can happen, especially in the kitchen. I get little nicks and cuts all the time. I start getting all wild in there and doing crazy things. And then I got another one of the Texas style cornbread muffin mix. This stuff is super good. We really like it. So I have been picking those up, and it makes the best corn casserole. I'm going to be making one later this weekend, so I will try to record that for you. I love corn casserole. Simple, easy, delicious. And it's really affordable, and it goes with just about anything. You could put it with any meal. And then I also picked up a hot cold pack. You can heat these up in the microwave or keep them in the freezer. Just always good to have on hand. I don't think you can have too much first aid stuff ever. You want to have plenty of everything that you need. And then of course, you know me, I had to get some matches. Another pack of the 320 wooden matches. I love to buy matches at the Dollar Tree. It's really affordable, and you have plenty on hand. When the grid goes down, you're going to be making more fires, lighting candles, lighting lanterns, everything like that. It really uses a lot of them, so making sure you have plenty, super important. And I saw an article the other day with saying that people need to be prepared for more rolling blackouts this summer. I'll link that in the description if you want to check that out. But we all know there's not enough electricity because this country's crazy. Anyway, I picked up a couple of fire starters. I like these Duraflames, and you can cut these up so you can use them more than once. If we cut it 2 or 3 sections, usually 3 sections, and it's plenty to light a fire. It stays lit long enough to really help the wood catch on fire. And then, let's see, oh, super glue. I love these super glue singles. I use them all the time. These are great. You can take this apart and put them in all your bags, your emergency bags, all different kinds. We keep them in just about everything. Because these are so handy. You never know when something's going to break or something like that, and having these on hand can really be super handy. And I don't like the big tubes because you use it once and then the end is all yucky and nasty, and it's no good after that. So I like to get those little individual ones. We really like those. And let's see, I also grabbed a extra pack of the little baby wipes. These are wonderful to keep in the car, in your emergency bags, anything like that. When you're conserving water or you don't have running water with you, these are perfect to just wash up real quick with. So having plenty of these on hand is important. We keep them in all our emergency bags and things like that as well, because if you're stuck somewhere, you may not have water that you want to wash up with. You may only want to use your water for drinking if you're limited. So extra cleaning things is important. And then I found these. They are organic coconut flour. So I was happy to grab a couple of these. They're ½ pound each bag. They have the zipper seal on them, and they had a pretty good shelf life on them, October 2024. But these are just organic coconut flour. Sometimes we mix it into our other flour. We'll replace like half the flour with coconut flour. in some recipes, and it just helps keep the carbs down. And some people have gluten problems and things like that, and this works great if you can't have gluten. And these are just nice to have, and these are non-GMO verified, so I thought that was great. I like to have a bunch of different stuff in the pantry, so when I want it, it's just there, and it works out really good for us. What else is in here? And then, of course, beans. I always try to grab beans when I'm there, so I got black beans and a bag of the Great Northern beans. We like those as well. And they did not have kidney beans this week. They did have some lentils, so I grabbed one of those. And they had the 16-ounce size this week, which was really nice. And it seems to be switching back and forth and different at different stores. And one day it's 12 ounces and another pack is 16 ounces. I don't know. It's crazy. They're still working through that old stock, I guess. And then some more food stuff here. Of course, Frank's Red Hot Sauce, always good to have plenty of seasonings and things like that in your pantry. When you get down to just your pantry items, a lot of them can be really, really bland. Rice and beans, they need as much help as they can get in the flavor department. So we like to keep tons of spices and flavorings and things like that on hand. And also A1. What a good price for A1. We love having lots of that in the house as well. And let's see, bamboo and charcoal toothbrush. These are always nice. I like the bamboo ones, just my preference. And they have all sorts of things there. So always grab, I try to make sure we have plenty of that oral hygiene stuff. In an emergency, you may not be able to get to a dentist or a doctor, and making sure your teeth are nice and healthy and clean is super important. And then I really love the Danos, and they have these little like sample packs. These are perfect for rice and beans. That's really good in there. And we have used these for all sorts of stuff. I really like these. You can get the big containers at some of the big stores, but none of our stores carry it, only the Dollar Tree. So I was happy to find these little packets, and because it is super good. And then I also grabbed some pink salmon, just the wild caught. I like these. You can just, if sometimes it's just me eating lunch, the kids don't want what I want. You can just flake this off and throw it in a salad to help boost the protein. You can make a sandwich with it. You can make a teeny little casserole. If you had like 2 packs, you could make a casserole. All kinds of stuff you can do with these. I like to keep these on hand. They're also great to throw just in the pantry when you have to go out for like a long ride or anything like that. It's so expensive to eat at fast food places, and their food is just crazy. You don't know what you're eating when you eat there, honestly. I would rather eat from home, but you know, sometimes you're out and that's what you have to do. But and then I also picked up a lemon pepper flavor. I thought that would be great. You could make like a little dip with these or something to go on crackers also. That would be another great option to use them for. And then all our canned goodies. I grabbed a couple of the albacore tuna. I try to grab these at the Dollar Tree because they're so much cheaper than the other stores. Definitely. The other stores can get really pricey on them. And then I grabbed a beefaroni just for an extra instant meal in the pantry in case, you know, whatever. If you need something quick, you don't have time to cook it, you can eat these right out of the can. You can heat them up if you have access to that, or, you know, whatever. But having these instant meals is really important in case of emergencies. We like to keep a little stash of them so it can just open and eat if you have to. And I also got a mini ravioli, so whoever is interested in those can, you know, pick which one they like. I don't buy that many of them, but once in a while I do grab them. And then they also have the Organic Valley tomato sauce. We really like this. It's great. And for $1.25, not bad, not a bad price at all for organic. And I love having these in the pantry. We use them in chili, spaghetti, making pizza sauce, whatever we need to make. Really with tomatoes, this is perfect. So I grabbed a couple more of those to add to the stash. And last but not least is pineapple. You know, I love pineapple. This is so good with Spam, honestly. I love making like the Hawaiian Spam with pineapple. I made a video on it. It's just so good. You put it over rice. You can make a little sauce with it. It's just super good. And these are great to have for all kinds of stuff. Making upside down cakes, or you know, you can add them to smoothies. You can do tons of stuff with pineapple. Sometimes we'll just throw the fruit right into a Jello or something like that. So that works out nice. But I grabbed 2 of those, the pineapple chunks. I normally get the tidbits because they're a little bit smaller, but this is what they had. So that's what I got. And that is it for my $45 haul from the Dollar Tree. We stocked up on the things that I thought we needed. It's always good to have your pantry full and make sure that you have the things that you need. In case you can't get to the store, or the store's not open, or maybe, you know, they can't accept credit cards or cash or anything. You know, some of these bigger stores definitely, if the grid went down, they're not able to process any payments, even cash, which I think is crazy, but that's the way it is. And we need to be prepared if something like that happens. All the stuff that's going on in this country, it really could be anything at any moment. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.